Hey guys, I am Adam. Welcome to the Vintage Sanctuary. I just want to honor my good friend John, the 3D 80s kid. Something epic went down in the hobby last night in the after hours show of Hobby Palooza. Palooza, not Palooza, Palooza. I'm such a loser. In the after show on Sammy Thunder's channel, somewhere around the 2-ish hour mark, everyone's half dead. Those who, had spent 25 plus hours like John running Hobby Palooza behind the scenes, or even just watching Hobby Palooza for that long. You could be a Hobby Palooza zombie at that point. So here's John. The auction, the REA auction is coming to an end, and they're watching the countdown, and they're thinking, will John win this epic Babe Ruth card? And, will he use up all of his funds and then some and come to the National broke? But with the glorious cornerstone to his epic collecting goal, which is one playing days card that he likes. That's a key. One playing days card that he likes of every baseball Hall of Famer. Now, John is a guy who, by his own admission, didn't like to spend tons of money on cards. So this was huge. He just went, how do you want to say? Whole hog. He just went, all in. And hey, did he win? Did he not win? Well, yeah, he won. But you know what? I didn't watch it live. I watched it today after he had won. But I was still, and I knew he had won, but I was still super stoked. So check that out. I'll link to it. I want to honor him by showing my 6. Now, Mike Petty might have this patented, so I hope he doesn't sue. I don't think he will. He likes me. My 6 non-zebra camo Kool-Aid Shimmer Kaboomy Babe Ruth cards. Now, none of them, they're all non-playing days, so, they don't hold a candle to the glorious stunner that John just picked up. But nonetheless, they are non-zebra camo. How do you do this, Mike Petty? Non-zebra camo Kool-Aid Shimmer Kaboomies. All right, let me turn this camera around and tell you what I'm talking about. Now this is making a cameo, or maybe it's a kaboomio. Oh man, my humor, so bad. This might just be something like a zebra camo Kool-Aid Shimmer Kaboomy. If I had one, maybe this is one. I don't know. It looks something like this. Oh wait, I hate this thing. I hate it. I bought it because I hate it. I also bought it because I know it's going to lose value. Now that might seem ridiculous, but that's the way to do it, guys. You got to be a contrarian when you invest. So buy things you hate that you know are going down in value. Seems counterintuitive, but hey, it can really pay off. So I bought this Aaron Judge from his epic home run year. If it's not a zebra camo Kool-Aid Shimmer Kaboomy, it's pretty close, I think. And again, only 50 of these, so way too common. Well, let's get that out of the way. This isn't about Judge. That was just basically sharing. Let me change the lighting a little bit here. What a zebra camo Kool-Aid Shimmer Kaboomy might just look like. So if you see something like that, run the other way. And now for my 6 non-playing days, non-zebra camo Kool-Aid Shimmer Kaboomy Ruth cards in honor of the 3D Epic Kids. By the way, speaking of zebra, you know what wood is on top of these custom card stands? That's right, zebra wood. Now, these come from the Drew, a Vintage Legacy, custom made. He gifted me 2. I purchased a couple more. Now, not all of them are going to have the zebra wood, but he's got some gorgeous woods. These things are just totally awesome. So, I should link to his video as well in case you have any interest in those. He's selling those to add funds for the National, which I think is really, really cool. And he is a master woodworker. So I'm super stoked. Huge upgrade from the plastic little plastic things I was using. Don't worry, I'll still watch your videos. If you're using little plastic stands like I did for the first few years, without further ado, my first, I'm going to go oldest to newest. So they're all within a couple of years though. My oldest non-zebra camo Kool-Aid Shimmer Kaboomy Babe Ruth, the 1960 new card, number 1, in an EX5. I think I bought this a few years ago at like $50 when, nobody wanted it. It was just a buy it now. Babe Ruth hits 3 homers in the series. His 3 breaks record in series game. I'm going to put this here in case you want to pause and read. These for me are nostalgic big time because you got the newspaper theme, which I remember that from when I was a kid, and beautiful, beautiful oversized cards, not so common. And then on the back, they have the trivia questions. Now, there are 3 Babe Ruths in this set. That's the first one in an EX5. Here is the second one. My second non-zebra camo Kool-Aid Shimmer Kaboomy Babe Ruth non-playing days card, number 16 in the same set. Ruth calls his shot, clouts Homer into selected spot. They give you when it happened, really. I love these things. These are so awesome. So awesome. I put that there so you can pause and read if you wish, and then on the back, who is considered the greatest baseball of all time? They have the trivia on the back. At that point, it was Ty Cobb. Maybe some people still consider him the greatest of all time. Here's the deal. There was a point when I was bummed out that I did not have any playing days Ruths. But then I realized, hey, these non-playing days Ruths are pretty sweet as well. And so I'm happy to have them. Who knows? Maybe someday I will have a playing days Ruth. But you know what? Right now, I'm just rejoicing with my good friend John. I'm just super stoked for him, I don't have to have one to really just share in his joy. And I think he did something that's so epic. He narrowed it down to one card. I'm not going to mention which one. One Ruth card. That's the one he wanted. And he wanted it in a very specific quote-unquote grade. That's a little hint there, but he wanted it in not just in a particular grade, quote-unquote category, but with a particular reason why it was in that category. These do not come up very often, very rare, and they tend to be quite pricey. And so he stretched his budget, and he had planned, and he had saved, and he had sold, and he stretched his budget to the limit. And lo and behold, he won, which is pretty amazing. This card looks amazing. In fact, on the live stream, they were talking about how there was a 2 that went for something like $5-6 grand more, and it wasn't any better, maybe even not as high of eye appeal. So just crazy. And who knows? Maybe everybody's saving for the National. Maybe he slipped right in there and purchased at the perfect time where it could actually, his dream could become a reality. So I think in this community, we all need to celebrate that. We should all be making videos showing our Babe Ruth cards, playing days or not. Maybe, that's a thought. If you've got one, or showing some cards and honoring John, the 3D 80s kid. What an epic move. All right, we are continuing on. I have, as I mentioned, all 3 in this set that are Babe Ruth cards. My third non-zebra camo Kool-Aid Shimmer Kaboomy of the Babe in an SGC 4.5, the perfect grade. Number 47, Babe Ruth hits his 60th home run. And you can pause it here and read if you want. And then on the back, who hit 3 home runs in a single World Series game? Well, that's Babe Ruth. And it says C number 1. Well, we're looking at number 1. That's on the left. But now we're going to move number 1 to make room for number 47. So, yeah, maybe I should show the 3 of them together. That's kind of, I could move things around and do it. I guess I could move this over here, and I could move this over here. And I'll kind of put this back here for a minute, just so we can kind of see the 3 together that make a set of sorts. So those are my 3 Babe Ruth cards from 1960, and now I've got 3 more Babe Ruth cards. So let's look at the first one. The 1961 Topps non-zebra camo Kool-Aid Shimmer Kaboomy Babe Ruth hits 60th homer. So I wonder if maybe they were inspired by the new cards from the year prior to have this card honoring, commemorating Babe Ruth's 60th homer season. 60 homer season. I mean, this is a forever 5. This is a fantastic 5. I mean, if this said 8 instead of 5, I'd believe it. I mean, look at that. Now, let's look at the back. Let's check out the back. Now, these have a newspaper style as well. So, it does make me wonder, were they inspired at all by the new cards, which are in newspaper style and which, commemorate some baseball achievements? I wonder if Topps said, hey, we can steal that idea or we can copy that idea. Imitation is the greatest form of flattery. We're down to 2. We're now moving to 1962. The 1962 Topps number 139 non-zebra camo Kool-Aid Shimmer Kaboomy Babe Hit 60. Apparently it was popular. And Topps said, yep, let's do it again the next year. In fact, let's use the same image. Now, this one has got the glorious green tint, which I really love. Now, some people will look at this and say it's like puke and poop, the green and the brown. But I think it's absolutely glorious. I really love it. In a Fantastic Four. This one's actually got some corner wear. I bought it at one point. I really wanted a copy of this. I got a good deal on it. And not so much a newspaper on the back, though, just narrative. But anyway, yeah. And then at one point I thought about maybe upgrading it, because I tend to be picky about condition. But I said, hey, I really like it. It looks great. I think if I did not have it, because I tend to be picky, I'd probably, be more picky about it. But because I do have it, I'm like, yeah, that looks great. No sense going through all the effort of selling it and then having selling fees and then buying another one. I'm happy with that one for now and maybe forever. I think it's a beautiful card. That kind of shows my growth as a collector a little bit, being willing to accept cards that, that's just a beautiful card, but that was something that it took me a while to warm up to, was accepting cards that have been more loved. Even though a lot of people will look at this card and say, what are you talking about, Adam? There's nothing wrong with it. We are down to the last one now. This is a multiplayer card. It's also from 1962. The 1962 Topps number 140, Gehrig and Ruth, non-zebra camo Kool-Aid Shimmer Kaboomy. Green tint. Number 140, as I mentioned, in an EX plus 5.5. This is one of my favorite multiplayer cards. What a beautiful image. This one I think is really, really nice as far as eye appeal, as far as, sharpness and well-centered and all that good stuff. So let me put this over here so we can check that out. So, yeah, there we have my 6 Babe Ruth cards, all in honor of John, the 3D80s kid. Something epic has happened in the hobby. I encourage you to go check it out. I'll do some links if you're looking for, let me move this down just a little bit so you can see these bad boys with the zebra wood. With the zebra wood holding the non-zebra camo Kool-Aid Shimmer Kaboomy Ruths. In case you're interested, I'll link to Drew's video as well. Let me turn this camera around. Yeah, something epic happened in the hobby. Now, everybody's on different budgets, so let me get a little more lighting over here. Let me mess with this a little bit. There we go. Now, everybody's on different budgets, but when I see a collector, myself or somebody else, strategize and plan and save and sacrifice to get that key piece to their collection, that's something to be celebrated. And so I am sharing in John, the 3D80s joy. I hope all of you will share in his joy, and I hope you had a wonderful and peaceful time in the Vintage Sanctuary. Take care, my friends.